to here on MX24 television. My name, as always, is Carlos Caloni. Now, on the show this evening, we are looking at the 10th National Delegate Congress of the NDC. As you're already aware, the National Democratic Congress is actually expected to have its Congress this weekend. Let's take a look at this video.
Of the land, for winner and seek your future. People love and our God, from victory to victory, the NDC shall lead. Democrat, Ghana, our strength in unity, from victory.
You know what it is upon our marriage. Yeah, big shout out to MX24. Keep watching. It's upon our Malians.
Yo, what up? What's up? This be Quasi out there, and keep watching MX24. Keep it locked. Dee-da-dee.
Drink in my hand, I'm vibing. Uber waiting outside. I don't care, I'm still in my towel, dancing in my towel. Hey guys, it's me, your one and only Davi Diva, Black Star Barbie, Feli Nuna, and you're watching MX24. Don't go nowhere, cause Davi Diva Ejeleme says so. Mwah.
Your songbird Jackie, keep watching MX24.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy Last Minute. You watching MX24.
You know what it is upon our marriage. Yeah, big shout out to MX24. Keep watching. It's upon our Malians.
Yo, what up? What's up? This be Quasi out there, and keep watching MX24. Keep it locked. Dee-da-dee.
Drink in my hand, I'm vibing. Uber waiting outside. I don't care, I'm still in my towel, dancing in my towel. Hey guys, it's me, your one and only Davi Diva, Black Star Barbie, Feli Nuna, and you're watching MX24. Don't go nowhere, cause Davi Diva.
Exclusive behind-the-scenes videos, up-to-the-minute sports updates, and the latest broken pen stories now. Experience more of MX24 Online. Visit mx24online.com today. MX24, fun, fearless, and factual. Visit www.mx24online.com for news, exclusive behind-the-scenes videos, up-to-the-minute sports updates, and the latest broken pen stories now. Experience more of MX24 Online. Visit mx24online.com today. MX24, fun, fearless, and factual. Visit www.mx24online.com for news, exclusive behind-the-scenes videos, up-to-the-minute sports updates, and the latest broken pen stories now. Experience more of MX24 Online. Visit mx24online.com today. MX24, fun, fearless, and factual.
Followed the event, the positions with fierce context at the chairmanship and the general secretary role, and we have the incumbent chairman Samuel Ofosu Ampufo actually facing a fierce battle from the current general secretary Johnson Asiedu Nketia for the chairmanship position. We also have the former propaganda secretary Fifi Fiavikwete, Elvis Afriyankra, and Dr. Peter Buama Otokono battling it out for the general secretary position. And so we'll be looking at the dynamics of these contests. But before we zoom into that conversation, you'll recall that ahead of the tomorrow's National Delegate Congress, the party actually held its Women and Youth Conference at the University of Cape Coast, UCC, in the Central Region, Saturday, December 10, 2022, to elect leaders for the women and youth front. Indeed, the fallout from that conference has been massive, ranging from heated exchanges between the elected youth organizer and the communications officer, as well as security issues. But the good news is that former President John Dramani Mahama has stepped in to resolve these differences. And so today on Spotlight, we will be discussing the upcoming Congress with our guests, and we'll be visiting the camps of the main contenders to ascertain their expectation and also gauge their confidence levels. And so following the violent incident that nearly marred the beauty of the Youth and Women Conference last weekend, we'll find out from officials of the party whether any lessons have been learned at all from that particular incident. But just be reminded that the show is live on Facebook and YouTube at MX24GH. You can leave your comments under the live stream, which will be read later in the course of the show. Don't forget to also like and share the live stream. You can also send your comments and questions to the WhatsApp number displayed on your screens. And so at this point, we use the opportunity to introduce my guest for this discussion this evening. I have Alex Segbefia. He is the chairman, National Delegates Congress Planning Committee of the National Democratic Congress. He will be joining us here on Zoom. I also have Ras Mubarak. He is the former NDC MP for Kumbugu constituency. He's also joining us on Zoom. Then we are expecting Bernard Odroichi in studio. He's a member, campaign team member of the Ofosu Ampofo team. And also Ben Efson is a senior journalist and also a pollster. He will also join us on phone. As well as Adib Sani, he's a security analyst who will be joining us actually on Zoom. And so let me use this opportunity to welcome all of you to the conversation this evening. All right, so let me start with you, Alex Segbefia.
Good evening, thank you very much.
Yes, if you can hear me, Alex Segbefia. You are the chairman of the planning committee of this particular Congress that we are looking forward to. We want to find out, is all set for tomorrow's Congress, or you still have a lot of things to put in place before tomorrow? Okay, we seem to have some challenge, but let me go to Mubarak. So far, you are a member of the party. What can you tell us about preparation so far?
Well, good evening to viewers. So far, so very impressive. I'm just coming from the stadium where the event will be held, and you will see all preparations underway. The media strongly represented. You see security agencies also strongly represented. You know, party delegates have arrived from various parts of the country, and it looks, I'm particularly also happy about the enormous interest that our Congress has generated in the media. You know, it tells you that clearly the country is looking forward to the NDC taking the reins of government in 2025, and you know, changing some of the wrong-headed policies we are seeing under.
All right, but somehow of the view that the NDC is not ready to take over the reins of the country, looking at the internal party wranglings that you have. And so I want to find out from you, do you see this particular Congress as a break or make for the party, or it's a normal, as usual Congress that you go to?
Quite.
Hello, Ras Mubarak.
I mean, you don't see people. I can hear you, yes.
Yes, kindly proceed. I think we're having some challenge.
I'm saying that the NDC is more than ready. If you juxtapose what is happening now, whilst we are in. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Kindly proceed.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
In response to your question, I'm saying we are more than ready, you know, to assume the reins of power. The NDC is pretty much united now than ever before. This is a contest, and any contest in any part of the world would definitely, generate some amount of excitement. You would see people just playing for position. It's standard, it's norm. We are more than ready. Corporate election are looking to the NDC to rescue the country, to restore hope, to put things right in our country. And clearly, the NDC cannot afford, to let the good of our country. And that is, some of us are of the opinion that we're going to have to put our best foot forward.
All right.
We're going to have to elect.
Okay.
Who are courageous, who are bold. MP is a way to deal with. So
okay, we seem to be having some challenge with Ras Mubarak's connectivity there, but we're actually discussing the NDC's upcoming delegate congress, which is supposed to happen from tomorrow to Sunday. And so we are looking at the chances of the contestant, and also taking a deeper look into what happened in Cape Coast last weekend to see if the party has actually learned any lessons from the particular incident there. We'll take a short break and then we'll return with the guests to continue the conversation. Now, welcome back to the conversation here on MX24 television. Let me go to Bernard Oduro-Techi. You are a member of the campaign team for the national chairman of the party. And I want to find out from you, how has it been for you so far since you started campaigning?
Let me extend my deepest greetings and first of all, condolence to the national chairman of the NDC, who lost his mother about some couple of weeks ago. The 1 week celebration was done about 2 weeks ago in Koforidua Jubilee Park. That was a very terrible moment for the entire campaign team. But be that as it may, we were able to overcome that, and we hit the campaign ground running about 13 days ago. So far, for the 275 constituencies in Ghana, the team of Osampofo campaign team has been to almost 274, with the exception of Amasaman, whereby there's a legal tussle that they are not participating in the upcoming Congress on that is tomorrow.
Okay.
I must put it on record that the campaign team for team of Osampofo has been very united, very determined, and always been working throughout to secure victory for re-election bid for chairman of Osampofo. Let me also state on grounds of fact that one very distinguishing factor or feature of team of Osampofo has been our ability to come out with solid 15 policy campaign guidelines. So when you look at all the 4 contestants in the chairmanship race, the only candidate I must put on record who was able to come out with 15 solid policies, also to speak a very verifiable a manifesto that delegates could relate to, could associate with what chairman of the Osampofo. And our manifesto was that Twaso manifesto. So to which he must continue his chairmanship race for the NDC. One very important thing that resonated with the grassroots, the rank and file of the party, most importantly, the voting delegates who are coming all over across the length and breadth of Ghana to Accra Sports Stadium was the fact that many people believe, without your equivocation, that the national chairman of the NDC is a listening leader, is a generous leader, is somebody who opens his ears to people, to listen to people's grievances, and is always there for the people. And I must also say that these and many other attributes of the national chairman have endeared so much the delegates. And I can say, with all humility, that God willing, by close of food tomorrow, when the ballot is counted, he's going to retain his seat as a national chairman to prosecute the 2024 agenda on behalf of the NDC.
All right, Bernard, you appear so confident. How are the delegates actually receiving your message across these 274 constituencies that you've visited so far? Right.
It is a venerable statement that fear delegates. But when you have worked your heart out for the people, you have fed the people from the bottomless pit of your heart, fed in honesty and transparency, and you've delivered a selling performance as a strategic leader of the party, obviously you don't fear the delegate, but you trust the delegate. Why do I say so? The national chairman took over the realm of affairs in 2018 November. And since he took over the realm of affairs, what are some of the records, the track record we can show? Number one, he inherited a party that in 2016 lost the general election by almost 1 million votes, lost 52 seats in parliament. The popular vote, the NDC Canada, was 4.8 million. Then in percentage terms, it was 44.60. Fast forward in 2018 when he took over, he worked together with all the stakeholders of the party, and here I mean the party ideological group, forum, NEC, FEC, Council of Elders, Party Communication Bureau, the Youth Wing, and at the end of the day, the selling performance that came out in 2020 were number one. We moved our vote from 4.8 million in 2016 to a whooping 6.3 million in 2020. Not only that, having 106 MPs in 2016, it jumped up to 137 MPs in 2020. And not only that, for the first time in the history of the country, the speakership of parliament moved to a minority party. And not only that, the 106 seats we had in 2016 moved to 137. And in percentage terms, the popular vote of 3.3 million translates to 47.74. These are the record of the national chairman since he took over. But let me put it on record. These were done in conjunction with all other stakeholders. But obviously, as the strategic leader of the party, if things have gone wrong, he would have taken the flag out of it. So if the party had performed so steadily, then obviously, if you want to blame him, let him also take a bit of credit. Let me put this one aside. Beyond this statistical performance, let's look at programs and action put in place that have made the NDC so attractive to many people. Number one, as we see today, the national chairman through his leadership has put in place what we call cadres visitation program. And I can tell you, couple of cadres who, together with Rollins, brought the NDC to be, have been visited and lots of donations made to them. Number two, for the first time in the history of the NDC, through the great charter of national chairman, the NDC today has a national disability debt with a debt at the national, regional constituency level. As we see today, according to the Ghana Population and Housing Census, people with disability in Ghana stands at 12.5%. If you put it on as the national chairman introduced adopt a branch and constituency initiative, that's not to say that anybody in the professional field, being a doctor, lawyer, banker, who on a good day cannot show your face to NDC, find a way to donate to help the cause of NDC. And many other programs he put in place. It made the party so attractive to even non-NDC core members.
So you strongly believe that with all these things you've outlined, the delegates are actually going to give him the nod to proceed.
The distinguishing factor here is about his manifesto. And without boring you with math, I'll only single out policy number 7. Among the 15 solid policies, which we've been able to explain in detail, exclusively, intensively, to the over 8,000 delegates coming out to vote, the policy number 7 goes to emphasize the fact that if constituency executive works so hard and government NDC comes to power, when it gets to the appointment of MNDCs in Ghana, in as much as Article 240 of the 1992 Constitution, such powers is vested in the hands of the president, the party leader is going to make sure that such powers to them be delegated to people at the constituents at the lower level to make sure that they resort to present whom they want to become a DC.
All right.
Now, this particular flagship policy of the national chairman is so interesting that people don't want to work hard for people to reap where they never sow.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. So you believe such a policy is actually going to do the trick for
tomorrow, chairman is on number 3 on the ballot paper.
All right. So hold on.
Get a chance to get into the booth. Chairman is number 3 on the dot.
All right, so hold on for us. Let me have Ben Efson. He's a pollster. He has actually covered a lot of elections, both internal and national elections. And we want to pick his thoughts on the aspirant between the Asiedu Nketia specifically and Ofosu Ampofo. Ben, what do you make of these two, big giants, I should say, of their chances going into tomorrow's election?
Well, thank you. Before the release of the Asiedu Nketia tape, I had always said Ofosu was very likely to win. With the release of that tape, Ofosu will win by a very wide margin. You see, the two reasons have made me arrive at this conclusion.
Okay.
If you analyze the voting pattern at last weekend's voting for the women and youth leaders, you could see that in spite of open declaration for some of the candidates who wanted now to come into office, majority of the delegates decided to retain those national officers within that range.
Okay.
In 2016, Mahama lost the presidential elections by about 1 million votes. In 2020, the margin reduced to 514,000, about 50% off. In the seats, in 2016, NDC had 106 parliamentary seats. In 2020, NDC went up to 137 seats, almost deadlock in parliament. And from the voting pattern, you could see that the delegates view was these are a group of officers who have done well, and we should. The tape, what the tape has done to Asiedu Nketia, he may not have grasped, saying that he won't lie, it is the truth. When he went to the election petition at the Supreme Court, I was given the Bible to swear to tell the truth. What he said in the tape was virtually opposite what he said in the Supreme Court. So if somebody next week decides to sue him, what will happen?
Okay, Ben, but forgive me, but for the purposes of the discussion and those who have really not followed that tape, briefly tell us what's in that tape, then you can advance your...
yes, basically the summary of what's in that tape is that the NDC has not collected, did not have the results. If you don't have the results, you go to the Supreme Court to swear that you disagree with the electoral commissioner and that you had won. Basically, that was what was in that tape.
Okay.
Now, if the tape is ostensibly to try to create the impression that Ofosu did not get the results, I'm sure 17 years being General Secretary, he has been collating the results. So even without going to the Supreme Court to swear that oath, it was his duty. So it's going to be interesting when those that the intel are picked up, that somebody is going to test. So that next time, if a political party decides to challenge the results constitutionally, go and swear oath, the swearing of oath, when it is proven to be untrue with your statement, there are legal consequences.
All right. So you believe that the particular tape has done a lot of damage to Asiedu Nketia?
Yes. You know, and some of the swing delegates that I've met, their view was that some of them said they weren't decided. But if you can release this tape in an attempt to paint Ofosu black, and you are elected the chairman, you can do that in your quest to maybe flag bearer. Because one of the reasons I had picked up intel is that the NDC had decided that in 2028 they will pick an account flag bearer. So perhaps he felt that if he is able to, if he goes for the chairmanship, and this has really given the elections tomorrow to, for example, on a silver platter.
All right, so Ben, I will come back to you for us to look at the outcome of tomorrow's event. Should Ampofo loses or Asiodun Ketia also doesn't get the nod, what implication that will have for the party and for the individuals themselves involved in the particular? But let me go to Mubarak. He is one. I think we've lost Mubarak there. Let me go to Bernard Odro. Are you still with us?
Yes, I'm with you. I'm under 24 TV.
All right. This should be making you happy. The analysis just made by Benefson so far. Is this?
Oh, Uncle Ben, I respect him a lot when it comes to issue of polls. Nobody can doubt his credibility and his capacity. When it comes to matters of opinion poll and national polls, you always will not get it right. But when it comes to Ghana and elections-related matters, he's not a push-away person. So he's somebody on matters of elections I respect him so much. It is quite true that in recent times, some of his polls do not end up the way they should. But you don't throw the baby away with the dirty water. He needs to be celebrated in this country. That notwithstanding, listening to his analysis and his judgment and his verdict here to claim this evening on your show, not in any single day are we going to be complacent. On our part as a team, we never stayed until the bones are rotten. So our mantra is that we are working so hard to make sure until the last ballot paper is counted, team of Osankofo will never rest. Ola Rotimi will make it clear that until the rotten soup is pulled out, the map must chew with caution. So our going into this battle, we are going with all-out approach, frontal approach, but with a lot of strategies and tactical approach. And I can assure you, we have done statistical evaluation of each region by region, constituency by constituency. And don't forget that the most rounded national executive member in NDC now is Tamu Ofosu. Why do I say so? He has been CADA, branch executive, constituency, regional, DCE, deputy regional minister, local government minister, Bochaman Gapoha, director of election, national vice chairman, and currently vice chairman. If you put his profile down and that's supposed to any other national executive officer of the NDC, I can confidently say that he is the most rounded and experienced. And not only that, if you look at what he has brought to the table today, the NDC stands so united. In 2018, all the people who contested against him when they lost, he brought them back. In 2019, all the people who contested against Mahama in the flagrant race, he brought them back. This should tell you that this is a unifier. There is somebody who brings in the missing link. And let me tell you, the delegates out there, they know what to do. And what they are saying that they are trumpeting that you don't change the winning team. Look, if you have two key players in your team, let's say you have Messi and C. Ronaldo, is it questionable that when Messi and C. Ronaldo, they've never suffered injury, they've never done anything wrong, they don't have red card, are you going to bench them in a crucial match? That is a big no. God being so good. If I position the NDC as a football club, our central midfielder is Tamu Ofosu. Our striker is Johnson. What on earth will come into the mind of Honorable Johnson to say that going into crucial match of 2024 for him to be a striker, he says no, I want to be a central midfielder. And the delegates are saying that they trust Ofosu to be the central midfielder, and no day are they going to showcase Ofosu for any other person when it comes to the chairmanship?
I think so the delegates are yet to make that determination.
By close of midnight today, we are going to win the election by close of tomorrow.
All right, so let me find out from you. What do you make of the tape purportedly, released by the campaign team of the your main contender, Asiodun Ketia? What damage has that done to your strategies?
First first of all, let me put it in perspective that team of some people, we are never bothered up. We don't have any scintilla of worry about that audio. Because you see, as a member of the NDC, my national chairman, he sworn an oath of secrecy to put confidentiality to bear. So if as General Secretary of the party, Article 26 of the NDC Constitution, you're supposed to be in charge of the Secretariat and Administration of the party, and if you cannot keep secret, do you know what it means? It means that if in the near future he becomes national chairman of the party, and we form a government and issue of controversy at cabinet level, it's going to disclose it to the public. So as a team of some people, campaign team member, and as a member of the team, and the team in collectivity, this audio has done nothing against us. Rather, the audio has turned up upside down to expose the pretentious nature of Adenun Ketia, that look, if on any day the NDC makes a mistake and put him as the leader and the chairman of the party, of any little disagreement in the near future with the flag bearer and the president to be on the ticket of the NDC, is going to leak a lot to the public domain. And that's not offer well for the NDC government and NDC as a party. So for us as a campaign team, we don't rejoice in what has happened, because after this election, we are going to spend tons of energy resources to counter this needless recorded audio. All I want to tell NDC members is that let us be careful who we choose to be the leader of the party, because if we are not careful, we are going to watch our dirty linings in public, and that's not okay well for the reputation of the party going forward.
All right, Bernard, hold on for me. Let me go to the other side and speak with Mubarak, who has joined us. Mubarak, what actually makes Johnson Asiedu Nketia the preferred candidate for the chairmanship position of the NDC? Hello, Mubarak. Hello, Ras Mubarak.
Hello, I can hear you, please. Can you hear me?
Yes, I think your line...
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
I can hear you.
Okay. So I was actually...
I can hear you loudly.
All right, so I was actually
I can hear you loudly.
asking what makes Asiedu Nketia...
I was saying that the
We seem to be having some connectivity challenges there with Ras Mubarak, but my producers will be working on that.
It's just figure as well.
Yes, Ras.
Hello.
Okay, come again. Let's see if we can get you through. You can go ahead. Unfortunately, we are having a challenge with Ras Mubarak's line there. So let me go to Ben Efson. What do you make of the chances? Now, should Asiedu Nketia win this particular contest, what will it mean for the party? And if he loses, what will it mean for the party and the two individuals themselves, Ampofo and General Mosquito himself?
I think that I'll be very, very surprised. Even without the tapes being out, the trend of voting at the youth and women leadership last week sent a signal of the intention of majority of
the delegates.
Because last week had open endorsement from leading members, some of them which you didn't think you have even done it. Let me give you an example. Sami Jemfi, the communications officer, is going unopposed. There will be no election tomorrow. So he is obviously going to continue. I would have thought that with his at least political experience, he would have, if he was supporting somebody, he would have done it discreetly. He came out openly, and your candidate lost. Ex-President Mama had to call Pablo and Sami Jemfi for a ceasefire. So last weekend, there were open endorsements. But those people who had the open endorsement did not win. That sends a strong signal that between 2016 and 2020, the movement upwards of the NDC in parliamentary and presidential elections, those that did not win, I mean, taking off 500,000 votes of the victory of the incumbent president, and Parliament 106 to 137. That was the tone that we set. And this was the tone that I know is going to be repeated tomorrow. That was even before the tape. So with the tape, I'll be very surprised, very, very surprised if I shouldn't get here.
Do you think this will set the tone for Asiedu Nketia to, go away from the Ghanaian politics entirely?
Oh no, he can always, I mean, for example, getting to 2028, he will decide to contest contest the flag bearership primary of the NDC. He's 17 years as General Secretary. He's quite experienced and so on. The tape is very unfortunate. The release of the tape, and he's saying that it is true. Puts, as somebody will say, puts sand in his garage. In his desire to be the national chairman.
All right. Benefson, kindly stay on for us. Let me go to Ras on the line. I'll come back for us to look at the chances of Fifi Kwete and the others who are standing for General Secretary of that particular party. Hi, Ras.
Hi, good evening, and thank you for having me again. Clearly, this gives us an opportunity to speak on a clearer line.
Yeah.
And to debunk, some of the serious assertions that have been made, against the person of the Honorable Johnson Asiedu Nketia. I think these are coming from, it's rather unfortunate if you look at the language with which the comrade decided to describe the Honorable Johnson Asiedu Nketia. I mean, this is a contest of ideas. We are in the same party. There is nothing in the constitution of the NDC that says the position of chairmanship is the exclusive preserve of somebody. You have one term, behaving, as if the position of chairmanship is the exclusive preserve. Asiedu Nketia comes to the table with enormous experience. He comes to the table as, one of the most knowledgeable persons when it comes to issues of elections in this country. He comes to the table as a very courageous leader. And let me, debunk some of the assertions, that we needed a diplomat, somebody who could iron out things, to lead the NDC. Clearly, people making those kinds of, assertions do not understand the MPP. The MPP is a very ruthless political party. They would do anything and everything to keep power, especially now that they've messed up so badly. They are smeared in corruption. They've run our country to the ground. Obviously, their people would not want to go to jail. So they're going to come with all tricks in the books to stay in power. And that is why you need a leader, a national chairman who can stand up to them, who can match them boot for boot.
You don't think Ofosu Ampofo has what it takes to match the NPP boot for boot?
Ofosu Ampofo is a very good material for the party. He's paid his dues. He served the party well. But clearly, going into election 2024, I do not think he's the candidate to lead us into that battle. And let me also make this point. There would be no losers and winners in this election. It is the NDC who would win. Okay? Either way, we are likely to have a situation where Chairman Ofosu Ampofo gets to become a member of the Council of Elders, because both the positions of General Secretary and that of National Chairman, if they are no longer holding that position, will become, automatic members of the Council of Elders. And I mean, I'm sure that is an arena, an area where his skills and knowledge, and sense of diplomacy would come to play a lot. We are going into a battle with the MPP, a very ruthless enemy. A political party that would not budge, to kill, to do all manner of. They don't play by the rules. That's the reality. If we were going into an ordinary election where the opponent respects the rules where the opponent, would play by the rules, then all fair in game. But we're going into an election. I mean, look at what happened in Iowa as well. Look at what had happened in election 2020. And you think you can...
But what makes you think that it is the Asiedu Nketia that has what it takes to actually match the NPP in that manner?
I'm sorry?
I'm asking, what makes you think that it is Asiedu Nketia that has what it takes to match the NPP in that particular manner?
I've told you that he's one of the most charismatic characters in the NDC. Asiedu Nketia commands a lot more following, probably after John Dramani Mahama, than anybody else in the NDC. That is fact. When Asiedu Nketia is on the radio, on TV, on any network, people stop what they're doing and listen. You need a national chairman who can draw in the crowd, but not just draw in crowds, but crowds whose support will translate into votes. And this is not also to say that he doesn't know how to play it nicely and softly. Of course, if he meets an opponent that would want to play by the rules, he would play by the rules. But to suggest that Asiedu Nketia has to create somebody and the rest of it is clearly symptomatic of a camp that is losing an election, and they would want to cry and kick, and throw their arms in despair, and throw tantrums. I mean, I'm so surprised that somebody representing Chairman Ofosu could speak in the manner that the comrade has spoken in your studio. He should not forget that Asiedu Nketia and Ofosu have been friends for more than 25 years. Okay, they've worked together on many big issues, and small issues in the party. So if you are a follower and you can't find decorous language, to describe your opponent, then you are an enemy of the NDC. And these are the sort of things we have in the party.
All right. Now, he actually appears to be very confident about the chances of Ofosu Ampofo. How confident are you yourself that the Asiedu Nketia is actually going to win this particular contest?
I don't know where he's drawing his confidence from, but I can tell him to fear delegates. Because resoundingly, Johnson Asiedu Nketia is going to emerge a winner. I can tell you that we are confident of our victory tomorrow. And the character and nature of Asiedu Nketia is such that even when he defeats you, he brings you closer and works with you. You can go back to, the days when people contested him in 2005 up until now. All of those people who had contested with him, he had not had any problems with them. Even Koko Anyi, he had to invite him to serve on the committee for the presidential, primary, the last one we held. So it's a very, he's a man who reaches across the aisle, and mend fences and build bridges. I think it gets things done. I mean, look at how we got a Speaker of Parliament elected. It was as a result of Asiedu Nketia's, mastery.
But Bernard is also actually linking that to Ofosu Ampofo, so it has to be a collective.
He doesn't know what he's talking about, and he's seeking to latch on to something that they have absolutely no hand in. I was in Parliament, even though I had exited as a member of Parliament, but I was there, saw through the entire process. I was there when Johnson Asiedu Nketia strategically, got everybody in line, and with a master stroke, got us to get a Speaker of Parliament. Okay?
All right.
So to suggest that the chairmanship is for somebody and Asiedu Nketia is backstabbing and all of that is most unfortunate.
All right.
Because there's nothing in our constitution that says, no position can be contested. Even, my brother, even President Mahama, with all his popularity in the party, people are letting their boots to contest him. How much more a chairman of the party?
Okay,
we
so
brothers,
your point is well made, but I want to find out from you, Raz, what specific message have you been preaching to your delegate from the camp of Asiedu Nketia?
We've been telling them that they could repose confidence in Asiedu Nketia. They could trust Asiedu Nketia as the leader of the NDC. And you see, this whole hula baloo about tape. Asiedu Nketia didn't go to, Because I heard the comrade say that Jonathan can't be trusted in issues of cabinet. What is he talking about? He's talking about somebody who served as a minister. He's talking about somebody who served as a member of parliament, who has held the position of general secretary. If he goes into a meeting and somebody advertently or inadvertently decides to record a meeting of NDC members, you can't put the blame on Asiedun Ketia. Would he, in like manner, we could actually say that Chairman Ofusampo is also not discreet, because it's also been recorded and contents of the recording put out there. So, as leaders and as senior members of various campaigns, we should be preaching to our delegates that, look, when party elders come to meet with you, it is not necessary to record conversations between comrades, and that even if you would record, let it stay within the NDC, But to suggest that Asiedun Ketia is to be blamed for, a recording that has come out, and who says the things that Asiedun Ketia has said are not true? Who says they are not true? Who appointed the director of IT? Who said he was going to resign if a decision to stand down the appointment of a director of IT, was not allowed to prevail? Who says that? These are things that had happened. And if a candidate goes to the delegates and questions arise, you expect him not to answer to those questions? Is that what he's saying? Is that what he's suggesting? I mean, we should calm down and realize that we are all in one political party, and after Sunday, when all is said and done, we would lead each other. From Sunday, Honorable Ofusampo more than likely would become an automatic member of the Council of Elders of our party. Now, if you are from his camp and you go about running down, your opponent, how would you feel? What to be done after? It's just an election, so there's no point tearing each other apart, and denigrating and saying nasty things about each other.
All right.
It should be left to, faceless people on social media to do that. But people like him I don't know whether he's speaking to you from the studio or online, shouldn't be, talking like that.
Okay, Raz, fortunately, Bernard is still with us. He wants to react to some comment you've made, so let's give him a platform.
He's had all the time to,
yes,
run down Asiedun Ketia without a response until I came back up.
All right, so that's why we've given you enough time to also make your point. So let's give him 1 minute within which he can speak to us. Bernard.
Hello.
Yeah.
I am pretty sure that when I was making my point, the whole world was listening. Never did I speak to attack Honorable Asiedun Ketia. Never. I started by talking about our campaigns or our policies. Then you interview Mr. Benetton. Then the elements of the audio tape came in. Never in my submission did I make any derogatory comment against the persona of Honorable Asiedun Ketia. So to the extent of Honorable Mubarak making that conclusion is very, very misleading. And let's put it in right perspective. You can play my interview for everybody to hear. I have never and ever on this show attacked the person of the General Secretary of the party. I spoke with respect to the audio and the impact it will have on
he cannot be trusted with party.
In my submission,
that's what he just said.
Did you ever see me speaking ill of the General Secretary of the party? I'll humbly plead with Honorable Mubarak to make his point and go straight to his point. If he doesn't have any good message for the people of the NDC, he should better let us know. But he didn't use me as a case study and attack me when I have never in my submission made any claim or only allegation against the persona of the General Secretary of the party. I am also mindful that after this competition is cooperation. That is why in my submission, you are the host of the show. Did you ever in my submission see me speaking ill of the General Secretary of the party?
Okay, so Bernard, you actually made your point with regards to the messages you have preached and the reasons you gave as to why you believe that your candidate stands a better chance to actually win the chairmanship position.
The General Secretary of the party? Meanwhile, you have the Honorable Mubarak on the line making a claim that he is disappointed I am speaking for Samuel Ofusampo. That's an unfortunate statement.
All right, thank you.
Plead with him
Thank you.
I have a lot of respect for him as a former member of parliament and as a senior member of the party. I don't want to have any banter. I will plead with him to go straight and tell people the policy that the General Secretary holds, upon which the people of the NDC to vote for him, and stop making me a point of reference when I have never in my submission spoken ill of the General Secretary of the party.
All right. Thank you so much, Bernard, for speaking with us here on MX24 television. Let me go to Ben Epson. Raz. Hello, Ras Mubarak.
Carlos, I can hear you.
All right. So I know you would want to actually respond to some of the statements made by Bernard also, but I think that should settle it. But I want to find out from you, from where you sit, do you see the NDC coming out intact after Sunday?
The NDC is a family, and in any family, you are likely to have members of the family lay claim to chieftaincy, to stools, to positions. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. We are brothers, comrades, and after this election, I can assure you that the main concern of every NDC member and every Ghanaian is to get the NPP out of government. They've done so much damage to this country that if you think about it, it makes you just upset, and the disrespect with which they are doing it is also one that is very upsetting. So everyone wants to see the NDC in government, and I'm not sure it is in anybody's interest to want to tear apart the NDC. Of course, we'll tell each other, the plain truth, and the reality is that we are going up against a candidate that is ruthless, and so you need a courageous leader in the character of Johnson Asiedu Ketia, who is fearless, who is honest, who is well respected, there's a time to be diplomatic. 2024 is not a time, to play softly. It's a time to go toe-to-toe, boot for boot, pound for pound with the MPP, and we are prepared,
all right,
to do anything and everything within law, to keep them out of government.
All right, thank you so much for speaking with us here on MX24 television.
With pleasure, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. And thank you also, Bernard Odrotechi, for joining the conversation, as well as Ben Epson for sharing your thought with us here on MX24. This is where we draw the curtain on today's edition of Spotlight, which has been live from our studios here in Islegon, Accra. Let me thank all my guests as well as you, our viewers from home. I promise to come your way again with another exciting edition of Spotlight. Keep watching MX24 television. As always, my name is Carlos Kaloni. Bye-bye.